So you guys know how I've been ordering cards, as you can see them back there in the blaster boxes? Got 2 more in the mail last night, except they were absolutely destroyed. This is how the box showed up, by the way. Obviously it was taped shut, but this part was sticking up. And as you guys could probably imagine, the boxes were absolutely smashed as well. I know they don't look that bad on camera because I've tried to literally puff them out to see if the packs are gonna be okay, but I can actually feel them just smushed in here. So I'm gonna return these. But my question is, these boxes don't fit in this box flush. Look at that. Meaning when he sent it, he had to have bent it over and like pushed it down. Are people dumb? Like, what? So anyway, yeah, that was my night last night. What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Happy Thursday. Today's video, we're gonna do something that I haven't done in about a year now, I think. And that's give you guys my top 10 NFL running backs currently. However, I'm gonna make it my top 15 because 15 is just more interesting and I'm not basic. Well, I am basic, I just don't feel like being lazy today. So before we hop into this list, I want you guys to head over to gfuel.com, use code WyattzWorld, save yourself a discount on any G Fuel products. And that's all I got for announcements. Let's get into the video. Alright, so coming in at number 15, we've got James Robinson. Underrated, underused on a horseshit team, but still does great. 678 yards, 7 rushing touchdowns, and 4.9 yards a carry. That is ridiculous when you're on the Jags, because if anybody else was in his situation, they would be terrible. He's most certainly earned a top 15 spot for me, considering everything he's going through, and he's still as good as he is. And coming in at number 14, we've got Leonard Fournette. It's nice to see that he's stepped up his passing game a lot, because Leonard Fournette still has those running games where he gets shut the fuck down. Although now that he can catch the ball, he's not completely useless when that happens anymore, because in the previous years, when he couldn't run, he served no purpose to that offense. The new multi-tool Leonard Fournette, we've already got him over 1,000 yards on the year with 9 touchdowns. That's crazy. I think he's headed in a good direction, and if he continues to just get better at what he's doing, he's just going to continue to be a better running back. Take Leonard Fournette at number 14. Up next at number 13, we've got Aaron Jones, a man who I know is still as good as he was his previous back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, but it just doesn't show because they're giving A.J. Dillon more and more attention for, well, no fucking reason at all. Nothing against A.J. Dillon, but like, you paid Aaron Jones all that money just to not use him? Like, Green Bay, you're fucking stupid for that. Regardless, he's still got 800 total yards and 7 touchdowns on the year. He's productive. He's giving that team, well, points when they need it. It's just unfortunate because apparently the Packers don't need Aaron Jones that much anymore. Still take him at number 13. And coming in at number 12, we've got Ezekiel Elliott. First half of the season, he was great. Now, since November 7th, he has been ass. Not sure he should stay in Dallas. Honestly, I'm starting to think he might be better off somewhere else, even though I know Dallas paid him. But they're also using Tony Pollard, and Tony Pollard just flat out looks better. I still think Zeke looks physically better than he has in recent years. And he's got 800 yards and 7 touchdowns, which is good. But by Zeke's standards and what they paid Zeke to do, being half the touchdowns just giving him the ball at the 1-yard line, I think he's definitely underperforming, although I'll still take him at number 12. And on to number 11, we've got Antonio Gibson, disappointingly low. Okay, let's be real here though. He has played hurt with a fractured shin for half the season. And with that being a thing, J.D. McKissic has taken a lot of his carries away, which is also hurting the situation because J.D. McKissic's actually a good running back. So him playing more is just him going to be taking more of a role as they see how good he can be. Gibson, on the other hand, I still think is on pace to become one of the best multi-tools in the NFL. He's just disappointing where he let off last year and where we think he would be today. 800 rushing yards, 5 rushing touchdowns, 2 receiving touchdowns. Not horrible, could be better. I'll take Gibson at number 11. And moving on to number 10, the one guy on this list, weirdly, that I'm giving a pass to, Alvin Kamara. He's still top 10. He's never not been top 10. The team he's on right now is broken and injury-riddled as shit. Not to mention, Alvin Kamara is broken as shit. You can look at it whatever way you want. You can try to make him look bad. You can try to make him not sound great. The way I look at Alvin Kamara, as much as I want to just take a fat shit on his head, the guy's logged in 840 total yards this year and 7 touchdowns, and he hasn't played in a month. He's just in a shitty spot. I think Kamara is unfortunately one of the best running backs in football, and he's still top 10. And moving on to number 9, we've got Najee Harris. All things considered, I think he's doing a great job. Horrible O-line, horrible quarterback. Yet he's still finding ways to show his talents and show them effectively. He could be just like Bell. He had 14 receptions in one game, for Christ's sake. Right now, he's got over 1,000 total yards and 7 touchdowns, and being on the Pittsburgh Steelers, he's one of the most talented and consistent players that they have. Keyword, consistent. And he doesn't seem to get hurt either. I don't know. I like Najee Harris. I think he's going to be one of the better running backs going forward. I'll take him at number 9. And moving on to number 8, we've got Damien Harris. Look, I've had this guy's back since last year. He is one of the most only consistent running backs in New England that I've ever actually seen, who can go out there whenever he wants, if given the opportunity, and get 100 yards a game. Honestly, like, I used to think he was a poor man's Josh Jacobs. I'm starting to think Josh Jacobs might be a poor man's Damien Harris. Damien Harris kind of, in a way, reminds me of Nick Chubb, just how he moves and the inability to tackle him when he's gained his full speed. Guy's a beast, dude. I think he is actually one of the best running backs in the league, and I do have him at number 9 comfortably. From a Bills fan though, Damien, fuck you. Moving on to number 7, we have got Christian McCaffrey. He's great, but he is too goddamn hurt. I can't give him the appraisal everybody wants him to. Let me read you his injury history since 2020. September 20th, 2020, high ankle sprain, grade 3, missed 6 games. November 8th, 2020, injured his shoulder on the last drive of Week 9's loss to the Chiefs, missed 4 games. Okay, we're at 10 already. December 9th, 2020, thigh strained, missed 4 games. Now we're at 14. September 23rd, 2021, suffered a strained hamstring in week 3. 5 games. Now we're at 19. And lastly, November 28th, 2021, McCaffrey rolled his ankle in week 12's loss to the Dolphins, placed on IR, missing the remainder of the season. So counting the bye, I don't know, he's going to be missing like 24, 25 games in 2 years? Get the fuck out of here. He is not top 5. I like you, man, but Jesus criminy. Okay, and moving on to number 6, we have got Austin Ekeler, somebody who I think has silently entered the MVP conversation this year. He is without a doubt one of the most useful players in the NFL right now. When Keenan and Mike Williams are not able to be there, or Justin Herbert is not having his best day, Austin Ekeler on his feet or catching the ball is going to get them into the end zone. He's going to get them to the end zone. I said that backwards because I'm so worked up and I don't give a fuck. 8 rushing touchdowns, 7 receiving touchdowns on the year. Flip a coin, pick how you want to score with him. Austin Ekeler, without a doubt, probably should be a top 5 running back. For sure a top 6 running back in my world. And moving on to number 5, we got my boy, Nicholas Chubb. Still as good as he always has been, dude. Kareem Hunt just takes his production away and so does his injuries. 867 yards, 6 rushing touchdowns, 5.8 yards a carry. Essentially, it means if you give Nick Chubb the ball twice, you're going to get a first down every single time. 2 years ago in 2019, he had 1,494 rushing yards and 8 touchdowns. Can you imagine if they didn't have Kareem Hunt on that team right now? Like, ugh. I were the Browns, I would probably just use Kareem Hunt and then send Nick Chubb to Buffalo. You don't need him. Chubb at number 5. All right, and coming in at number 4, we've got Joe Mixon. Oh yeah, absolutely. He has 12 touchdowns this year. Are you kidding me? Sorry, that's not even counting his receiving touchdowns. He has 14 total on the year. What did I tell you guys was going to happen with Mixon? I said this 100 times. I fought it on every hill I ever stood on. Gio Bernard's not there and he doesn't get hurt, meaning his O-line is better, which it is. Joe Mixon is elite. He's an animal. He's protected and he is contained and there is nobody to stop him. Plus, I think he actually does have one of the best ball IQs when he is in motion as a running back. And what I mean by that is it seems like he knows who to avoid mid-play. Not every running back can do that. Some running backs are just going to run into the first person they see, and that's where they get absolutely slammed. Joe Mixon at number 4. Moving on to number 3, we've got Dalvin the Chef Cook. Could talk about it all day. I still do, and I always will think he is the best running back on his feet. When it comes to making defenders look silly, when it comes to putting people on their ass, there is nobody better than Dalvin Cook. Without physically touching them, I should say. Now, with Justin Jefferson being the absolute machine he is, I feel like the Vikings have been more inclined to throw it this year than pass it, which would speak why Dalvin Cook only had 4 rushing touchdowns up to the point where he got hurt. But aside from the touchdowns, he still had 773 rushing yards, 200 receiving yards, and he's averaging 4.4 yards a carry. Nothing to complain about there. Still the same guy, just hurt, and I think the Vikings have been targeting a different person. Dalvin Cook at number 3. And moving on to number 2, we've got Jonathan Taylor. This guy is a fucking machine. 1,300 rushing yards right now and 16 touchdowns? I want to slap myself in the face for not having him as number 1, and you guys already know who number 1 is, even though he's hurt. But Jonathan Taylor is on a different level. He's playing in banana land right now. Yes, I understand 5 of those touchdowns came in 1 game against Buffalo, but that's not really anything to hold against him because he got that in 1 game. You know how fucking hard that is to do? I said it it last year about him. He was gonna be elite. I knew it. I'm actually almost convinced you need 2 human beings to physically get him on the ground. It seems like every time he's in one-on-one coverage, whoever ends up trying to tackle him just slips off and ends up laying on the ground as he's running down the field. 7 games he has rushed over 100 yards this season. It's just stupid. And moving on to number 1, even though he's hurt, Derrick Henry, because I still think he would be, well, I don't think, I know it, he would be above Jonathan Taylor if he didn't get hurt. 900 yards and 10 rushing touchdowns, and he hasn't played since Halloween. That's nuts, and I don't think he's ever really been hurt before either, which is also another reason I'm going to give him the number 1 spot. I just can't wrap my head around it, man. Remember when he was sitting behind Dion Lewis and DeMarco Murray? Jesus, what were they doing? I think I've said this before, but I'll say it again. Derrick Henry is your Madden created player if you just go and max out all of your attributes as big as you possibly can. He is a video game character who has been brought to real life. Still got the king at number 1. Alright guys, and that is going to be all for my top 15 NFL running backs currently. If there's anybody you think I left off the list, let me know. If there's anybody you agreed with, let me know. All you Saquon Barkley fans, don't come at me. He's not even close to top 15 right now. Not even in the vicinity. However, if you guys did like this video, you already know what to do. Comment, like, subscribe, turn that bell on. I do my best to post every single day. If you want to follow my second YouTube channel or any of my social medias, all that info will be in the description of this video as well. With all that stuff being said, guys, I'm going to hop off and edit this shit so you can watch it on time. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. And as always, I will see you in the next video.